Good evening and welcome to CogWork Gaming. I'm the Beverly Hillbilly, and today we are back in Assetto Corsa, and we're also back at the Nürburgring. And today we're going to be running through a quick sprint race. Today I'm jumping back in the 90s DTM legend, the Mercedes-Benz 190E Evo 2. And as you can see here, I've set up a quick little race of period correct cars that you would find in an early 90s German touring car championship race. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start, where in this particular race, couple quick details about the race. Opponent strength is set at 93%, which anything above 91 in this game, the AI doesn't really ever mess up. That's one of my biggest complaint about the game, is the AI is very robotic, but at 93% their lap times are very smooth and they're very formidable, and you have to keep mistakes at a minimum to win. The internet people who play this game and play online are way too good for me. So anyway, I start 5th, and here is a 2-lap sprint at the Nürburgring 90s DTM edition. Let's go. This is a standing start. And we are underway. As you can see, some guy named Nicola starts on pole in his all-wheel drive Alfa Romeo. It's kind of a disadvantage because the Alfa Romeo in the early 90s was the only German touring car championship vehicle to feature all-wheel drive. The rest of the vehicles were rear-wheel drive only. As you can see, I got off to a great start despite starting 5th. I've already made my way into 2nd. There we are. Coming down through the first S's, you can see Mr. Larini, whatever his name is, some kind of European name, some unpatriotic fascist. Flying off in the Audi. Tires are coming up to temperature, and we flow down the first long straightaway here. He is going to pull away a little bit from me. In this particular short race, I have a very aggressive setup where I have soft tires and high downforce. I am hoping that the high downforce and soft tires will help me in the slower sections of the track, where my lighter Mercedes would already have an advantage over the Alfa Romeo. Let's see if it plays out. Come down to the first huge braking zone. Nice left-hand sweeper. Heavy on the brakes. Down to 3rd gear. Coming around. I close in on the Alfa Romeo a little bit as we come out of that nice right-hand sweeper. Trying to get in his draft. With my heavy aero package, any help on the straightaways is much needed. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, a heavy aero package is talking about I'm using a lot of downforce in the car, very aggressive aerodynamic aids. That helps the car grip on corners. You can take turns faster, but it also increases drag. Drag decreases vehicle top speed. But on a closed racing course, you want a nice mix of high top speed and great cornering grip. As you can see through this section right here, I will catch up to him slowly. Little wide, come in a little hot and heavy. Hit the brakes a little late there and went wide. One thing about racing simulators is you have to be precise, you have to be consistent, and a little tiny mess up like that and you lose 2 seconds. That is fairly consistent with what you see in the real world, where one little mess up can ruin everything. Ooh, a little sideways. Getting into it pretty hard. The tires are up to temperature. Using the most of everything, with this being a 2-lap sprint race. Laying it all down hot and heavy. Coming around through the S's. Low speed turn, high downforce doesn't matter, but those soft tires are working wonderfully. There's my loyal 2D fan base. And as you can see, I'm going to slam on the brakes and really close up on them. Attack the turn a little too hard, but that's okay. I'm much closer to him now. Nice little right-hander. Kept it in 3rd gear, avoided tire spin. In this third-person kind of like broadcast-style replay, you really get a chance to appreciate the graphics for what they are. This is just a standard high setting, but everything looks beautiful. And you can see inches from that curb there on the inside as I get a great run off that turn up this long straightaway. Despite all of its bends in the video game and in real life with a comparable race car, you're flat out flooring it the whole time on the edge of death. I got the high beams on because I'm being a dick. As you can see, we're passing ambulances. That's for when you die. He pulls away a little bit. My high aero package is hurting me a little bit, but that's okay. He hits the brakes early. I don't hit the curb, not caring. I'm right up on his bumper, setting myself up wonderfully for a nice little pass. I come off that little right-hand turn a little faster. I'm on the inside. Got the preferred racing line. Really hit the brakes hard. Coming around, hitting the curb, getting the gas first, and complete the pass. Now as we come up to one of the most famous turns in all of motorsports, the carousel. Coming hot and heavy. Little wide. Alfa Romeo takes the lead again, but that's okay. I stay calm, easy on the gas, and I'm right back on him. Now this back section of the racetrack is exactly what I set my car up for. High downforce, my soft tires will be at their best right here. I am hoping to get a pass on him and then make a little bit of space between myself and him before my soft tires wear out. As you can see him coming into these S-turns, attacking the curb hard. I'm all over his back bumper. The lighter Mercedes is having its way with the all-wheel drive Alpha. Here I am on the inside. Oh. He carries the momentum on the outside. I'm taking on the long way. He gets squirrely on the inside and take the lead. Close the door. Now what's important here is I need to make as much space between myself and him before the best of my tires wear out. Now I know what you're saying, this is only a 2-lap sprint race, but these are soft tires. What that means is the rubber is a very soft compound. Because it's a very soft compound, it grips the road very aggressively. But because of that, it wears very quickly because of all that friction. So as you can see, I'm getting a little sideways, turning the wheel hard. Another straightaway despite all of its curves and bends and sweet riding on the road. I'm flooring it, using the grass. Still flooring it, sliding sideways. As you can see, I have got a nice gap between myself and the Alpha. Coming down the third gear. Now we're coming up almost to the end of the first lap. What's important now is just to be smooth. And again, you can see the really nice detail of this video game. And unfortunately, Assetto Corsa, I do not think it is getting the amount of notoriety and praise that it deserves because it's in the shadows of Project Cars, which is 8 months behind its release schedule. Which is really sad because Assetto Corsa was on time and it does not have the depth of track, the depth of cars that Project Cars is talking about. There we are. Let's get a closer, nice static camera. Whizzing down, doing a buck 60. There's my chaser. And just flying. What's really nice, you can still see the details in this game. Even when you're far away, you can see a lot of the little things. And if you look closely, you can see that Mercedes-Benz hood emblem from Narnia. Kind of stroking the Assetto Corsa's penis there, that's okay. Coming around to complete the first lap and to take the white flag. Coming in a little wide. Now the second lap is really crucial because the best of my tires are beginning to leave me now. As you can see, it coming a little wide into this first sweeping left-hander, getting a little sideways in the exit, heavy on the throttle. Coming down to this long, oh look at that, inches from the grass, coming around and going to be hitting the brakes really hard. Car's already getting sideways. Drove the car very aggressively on the first lap and suffering dearly for it. Tires are hot. Yes, that matters in video games in 2015. Little tiny details. You drive the car really aggressively. The game registers that you're driving the car aggressively, and for the car to behave like the tires are extremely hot, which decreases grip, and you're wearing out the tires much faster, decreases grip. Coming around up the crest, tiny bit of air, downshift in the fifth, hugging that turn beautifully. Now it looks like I have it. All I gotta do is be safe, be conservative, maybe relax a little bit, kind of ease into the corner. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 relax. Oh no. Rule number 1 of racing, never, ever relax. Thankfully I had a bit of a gap. Now there's a whole bunch of sand and grass on the tires. Just like that, we have a race again. Now the Alfa Romeo was a little bit faster on this front section. Cannot hold him off. Carrying a little bit more speed. The lighter Mercedes is coming in heavy, sideways, hitting the curb. Getting a little wide, getting a little nervous, a little slow. Soft on the throttle, using all the trap, doing everything I can to be easy on what's left of the tires. Alfa Romeo gets a bit of a draft off of me, that's okay. Sweeping left-hander coming in hot and heavy sideways, coming out using everything plus the grass. Overdriving that turn again this lap, but nowhere near as bad. He does it worse, which is good. Came in too wide, but set myself up perfectly for a straightaway. A little sideways. Here we come down to a crucial S. Just blipped the throttle. Sideways again. Tires are beginning to wear out. Heavy on the brakes. It's last lap. Coming in nice and smooth. The all-wheel drive Alfa Romeo behind me is a little bit faster. My little 2D fans cheering me on. Open up a nice gap. I'm coming to the part of the racetrack that I am better at. Very, very smooth. I'm much faster through this corner. Just got to be smooth. Very, very smooth. Now, it looks like I have a bit of a gap. Just got to take it easy. Be nice and smooth. Don't screw up. And up, oh no, up. And got a little loose there, using that curb. Heavy on the throttle, slightly sideways, that's okay. Now, as we head up the green hill, using all 370 horsepower, again, starting to get a gap on the Alfa Romeo. I need every bit of it. Downshift to fifth. Easy on the throttle. Now before I made a beautiful inside move here. Let's see how I do. Hit the curb. Barely touched the curb. Sideways in the grass. Going wide, and that could have went better. Those curbs look very inviting, but that, like in real life, you can touch those curbs and they're painted, and paint is very slippery compared to the concrete and tarmac. That's okay. Did much better in the carousel that time. As we head up the hill, I got out of that turn horribly. The Alfa Romeo's all-wheel drive system got him out beautifully. Hitting the curb, sideways, up, in. He looks on the outside, but closed the door. Now I'm nervous. I am very nervous. But we're coming up to my favorite part of the track. Tires are worn out, but my vehicle setup is much better. I can attack the inside. He has to go wide. Now I'm just being smooth, attacking the curbs now. starting to put a little gap on him again. Downshift to third, come around the turn as we come over the crest. Back down through another bit of S's. Looking good. Looking alright. Hitting the curb. A little sideways. Hit the curb on the inside. Hit. Oh, just nicked the outside. That's okay. The car is beginning to understeer, which means the front of the car does not want to turn as much when I turn the wheel a certain way. But oh, sideways, sideways, whoa, whoa, oh God, here comes the Alfa Romeo. Oh. He has to hit the brakes. As we go over a little bump. And this is going to be a close one, right down to the checkered flag. Now, I got to do everything I can to keep this car full throttle. Using grass there, airborne. This is going to be a close one, coming down, huge braking, down to fourth gear, nice and smooth. Downshift to third, a little sideways, that's okay. German touring cars are famous for their sideways action. Do the mini carousel. Nice. Very nice. Now as we come to the huge sweeping right-hander before the very long straightaway. Nice and smooth. Left the throttle just a little bit to set myself up for the inside. And look beautiful as we go down the long straightaway. As you can see, the Alfa Romeo will eventually try to get behind me and draft. That takes the air off his vehicle, which reduces the amount of drag. Let's get a closer look. I move to the left-hand side to break that draft. Looks like he's getting closer. That's a powerful car. That vehicle has more horsepower than I do, but I am lighter. Looks like it made the difference. We come down through the final S's before the finish line. Heavy on the brakes. Keep it nice and straight and nice and smooth. Just got to bring it home. So we come through the final left and right. After a thrilling sprint, take the checkered flag. Take it in dramatic fashion for the win. And there we go. So you don't need to be the best racing gamer, and you don't need to be fishing online to really enjoy this game through its remarkable depth of vehicle setup, opponent setup, and track setup. You can set everything to your limit, wherever it may be, and have thrilling races. That is one thing that makes this game great. So there we are, a beautiful win. Maybe not so beautiful, but I can pat myself on the back till my shoulder gets sore. But anyway, there we are. There is some nice third-person action of Assetto Corsa. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video. If there's something in particular that you want to see more of, or something that you want to see less of, let us know in the comments. And if this is your first CogWork Gaming video, welcome, subscribe, and indulge yourself. I'm the Beverly Hillbilly for CogWork Gaming, wishing you a good evening. That was a bit intense.